Good evening, Dhamma friends. Welcome back to the OPRC class day 93. Now we are going to start off the class by paying respect to the Buddha. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Today we are going to discuss Dhammapada's verse 71. This verse is about uh, understanding the different types of karmic results. Karma results not in one way. So don't expect that you offer dana being a group, 6 people in the group, and you get the same karma equally. It depends on how many or how much kusala karmas you've been making during the activity. So that means karma results in different ways. Karma does not result in one way. So this is the main teaching in the story, but the story and the stanza actually. The stanza is giving us more insights about this complexity with regard to karma. I mean, what we have to worry is that how to engage in wholesome karmas, and what are the things that we can use to engage in more wholesome karmas, and how to keep. I think I already shared with you a couple of days ago, couple of weeks ago, that protecting a kusala karma which you have done is more challenging than doing a kusala karma, right? So all these are our practical practice side things. So that's why while we understand the nature of the different types of result in vipaka, we also have to very much understand that what to do. I mean, we always understand dharma, and this is what is happening. Even with regard to complexities about life, karma, and all that. But then the most important part is not just to be dismayed or dismissed from the practice, rather to understand what to do. What can I do? How to change the situation? How to practice something with regard to the complexity of the results of karma. So these are the things that we are going to deal with today. So in the first part, as you know, that we are going to recite the stanza, and we're going to see how others recite too. Let's take a look. OPRC lesson day 93, 71 stanza. Okay. The stanza reads this way. Nahi papang katang kammang sajjukirang vimuchyati dahang tang balaman veti basmachanno va pava. There's a combination here. The combination is I. It has been contracted because of the apostrophe here. So we're going to say basmachanno va pava. But if you, decombine that, you will say basmachanno iva pava. But here we say basmachanno va pava. Once again, na hi papam katang kamma sajju kirang va mucchati. Dahang tang bala manveti bhasmachanova pavako. Okay, so then we will be asking groups now. First, I'll be asking from group 1 for anyone who would like to read this stanza. Yes, anybody? You can raise your virtual hand. Group 1. If not, group 2. Yes, Kim, please go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante. Nahi papan katang kaman. Saju kirang va muchati. Dahan tang bala manvati. Basmachano va pavaku.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And group 3. Yes, Lisa.
Thank you, Bhante. Nahi papam katam kamam, saju kiram va mukati. Dahan
Muchati.
muchati. Saju kiram va muchati. Dahan tam balaman veti. Blasmachano ver pavaku.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And group 4 is KB on. Thanks.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you.
Nahi papang katang kamang. Saju kirang muchati. Dahan tam balaman veti. Basma chano pavako.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And group 5. Yes, Melinda, let's go ahead.
Thank you, Bhante. Nahi papam katam kamang. Saju kiram muchati. Dahan tam balaman veti. Basma chano pawati. Pawako.
Yes, Basmachanova Pavako.
Basma chano pawako.
Okay, great.
Thank you. Thank you, Bhante.
Group 6. Yes, TC, please go ahead.
Thank you. Nahi papam katam kamam sajukiram ver muchati. Daham tam balamwan veti basman chanova pavako.
Basmachanova
Basma chanova pavako.
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 Mm.
Thank you.
Okay, great. And group 7. Group 7.
Okay, Bhante, myself.
Yes, Miss Hema.
Okay, Bhante, yes, thanks, Bhante. Nahi papam katam kamam, saju kiram wa muchati. Dahan tam balam manveti, bas machano wa pawako.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And then group 8. Last group. Yes, Chompakla, please.
Good evening, Bhante.
Yes, good evening.
Nahi papam katam kamam. Saju kiram muchati. Dahan tam balaman veti. Basma chanova pavako.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes. And then now I will be asking others who would like to read. We'll be starting with Chupeng, please.
Good evening, Bhante.
Yes, good evening.
Nahi papang katang kamang, saju kirang wa musati. Dahang tam balam manveti, basma chalnova pawako.
Okay, great.
Thank you,
And
Bhante.
Serene, yes, yeah.
Suki hotu Bante.
Suki hotu.
Nahi papang katang kamang. Saju kirang ve muchati. Dahang tam bala manvati. Basmachano ve pavako.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bante.
Yes. And then Oi is great.
Good evening, Bhante.
Evening. Yes.
Nahi papang katang kamang, saju kiram wa muchati, dahang tang bala manveti, basmachano wa pawako.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And 19, please.
Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening.
Nahi papang katang kamang, saju kirang ve muchati. Dahang tang bala manveti, basmachano ve pavako.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And yes, Melin, please.
Good evening, Bhante.
Yes, good evening.
Nahi papang katang kamang, saju kirang ve muchati. Dahang tang balaman viti, basma chanova pavako.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And Suzanne, please.
Thank you, Bhante. Nahi papam katam kamam, saju kiram va muchati, dahantam balamanveti, basmachanava pavako.
Okay, great. Ochuwang. Yes.
Good evening. Thank you, Bhante.
Yes, good evening.
Nahi papang katam kamang saju kirangwa muchati. Dahantang bala manvati bat basmachanova pavako.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes, Sinfong is.
Thank you, Bhante. Nahi papam katam kamam, saju kiramva uchati, tahan tam balam mavati, pasma chanova pavako.
Okay, great.
Thank you,
And
Bhante.
yes, Isa, please.
Thank you, Bhante, and good evening, everyone.
Yes.
Nahi papang katang kamang, saju kirang vamuchati, tahantang balaman veti, basmachanova pavako. Thank you.
Okay, great. And Jenny?
Bhante.
Yes, good evening. Yes.
Nahi papang katam kamang, saju kirang ve muchati. Dahan tam bala wasma tano ve pavako.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And Jean, yes.
Good evening, Bhante.
Good evening. Yes.
Nahi papang katang kamang, saju kirang ve muchati, dahang tang bala manveti, basma chano ve pavako.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And Margaret, please.
Sorry. Name Bhante. Nahi papam katam kaman, saju kiram ve muchati, daham tam balam manvati, basma chanova pavako.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And Pauline,
Yeah,
please.
thank you, Bhante. Suki hotu.
It's okay.
Nahi papang katang kamang, saju kirang wa muchati. Dahang tam bala manveti, basma chano wa pavako.
Okay, great.
Thank you, Bhante.
And Doris? Yes.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Papam katam kamang, saju kiram ve muchati, Dahan tam balaman beti basmachanova pavako.
Okay, great.
Yeah, thank you, Bhante.
Yes, Sumana, Shali.
Sukhiyanto Bhante.
Yes.
Nahi papang katang kamam. Saju kirang wa muchati. Tahan tang bala manveti. Basma chano wa pawako.
Okay, great. And then we have Rashmi. Yes, Rashmi.
Thank you, Bhante. Nahi papam katang kammang sajju khirang vamuchati dahantang balamanveti bhasma channo vapavako.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
And finally, Corina. Yes, Corina.
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Bhante. Nathi papan katam kaman saju kiram wa muchati. Dahan tam bala mawati pas machawo wa pawako.
Basma Channo.
Basma chano wa pawako.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Anyone else who would like to recite, who decided later on, wanna recite?
May I try?
Yes, please.
Thank
Yes,
you,
Andy,
Bhante.
please.
Nahi prapang katang kamang sa jukirang muchati. Dahang tang ba laman veti basma chanova pavako. Thank you,
Okay,
Bhante.
great. Yes. All right. So at this point, we are moving on to understanding the context, the translation and then the context. Now, on the surface level, we can see that it's about karma. It's about akusala karma. Now, how to understand this akusala karma nature of this Pali word, papa? I think sometime ago, I explained to you that kusala's consequential version is punya, and then akusala's consequential version is papa. That means kusala results as a punya, and akusala results as a papa. I would say the status, the state of kusala as a result will be punya. The state of akusala as a result will be papa. So that means we can draw a thin line between kusala and punya and akusala and papa. But there are certain places, some of the places in some of the suttas, we can also see that Buddha is using kusala punya, akusala papa with being synonymous. So that means what we understand is Buddha wanted to explain to people that kusala punya comes in the same bracket, while akusala papa comes in the same bracket. So what we need to understand is when you do a kusala activity, what is a kusala activity? Not killing, not stealing, not sexually misbehaving. Those are from the body. Not lying, not engaging in dividing other people through speech, not hurting other people with speech, not gossiping, idle chatting. These are primarily from speech, 4. And then from the mind, not being covetous. That means not being very, very greedy. Greed is normal to everybody. But what if someone becomes overly greedy, excessively greedy? That is covetousness. So then not being greedy, not being covetous, not having ill will, and not having wrong view. That means having right view. So there are 3. 3 from the body, 4 from the speech, 3 from the mind. So these are the 10 kusala activities. So when you are engaging in any of these kusala activities, or maybe multiple kusala activities, say for instance, now at this point, during this OPRC class, you are not killing, you are not stealing, you are not sexually misbehaving, you are not lying, right? A good break for the mouth, right? And then you are not lying, you are not hurting, you are not, engaging in divisive speech, you are not gossiping, no time to gossip, Maybe you are minimizing, you are not idle chatting. But the problem is of the mind. I don't know how is that part playing in you. What about covetousness? When you are listening to us in this class, are still some of the covetous thoughts coming up? Greed, excessive greed, right? Covetousness can come from many forms. It can be something that you really crave. It can be something that you have an excessive greed. It can be something that you have a certain clinging about somebody, right? So we cannot guarantee about it. That's up to you. So you have to deal with them to minimize them. What about ill will? You are not physically harming anybody, right? Your hands are safe, like you are keeping them to you. But what if that you are mentally harming someone? What if I could hit somebody? What if I could do something wrong to somebody? But they are not manifesting in your activities. They are not manifesting in your speech, but still there may be thoughts as unenlightened beings. So then that means that part is something that we have to work on. We don't need to demonize anybody here. We all are trying our level best to become better people every moment. But I'm telling you, there is a place with regard to the mind that we have to train us. We have to discipline us. So anyways, let's say this OPRC class moment is a moment where you're doing multiple kusala activities, a very good moment. And then what will happen during this time or after, or when you are doing any other kusala activity? The consequences, I would say vipaka. Pali word is vipaka. Karma is action with volition, and the results are vipaka. So the vipakas are going to be definitely punyas. I know you have a word that you are using for that. What is the word you are using for that? Merits, right? This is the very familiar word that you are using in your context. But in the suttas, we understand, we call them as kusala vipaka. Pali word is kusala vipaka. You could say, actually what people are doing is that they are using the action as a result to good karma. But the result of the good karma is not good karma. We call it merit or kusala vipaka, right? So what we understand in this stanza at this point is that the Buddha is explaining a certain situation, a particular scenario where two monks had a certain conversation while they were descending the famous Vulture's Peak, Gijaputra in India, for an alms round, maybe after they had their alms round. And one of the monks was Moggallana, Arahant Moggallana, who happened to see someone, but the other monk did not notice that. And the other monk saw that there was a smile appearing in Arahant Moggallana's face, and he was wondering. He asked from him, "Why are you smiling?" Actually, if you learn Abhidhamma, and not even Abhidhamma, many suttas talk about that Buddha has a certain smile that he is exhibiting, displaying at the time of seeing someone who is going through a very terrible karmic sequence. One day he was looking at a female pig, and then the Buddha displayed a smile. Venerable Ananda asked, "Why are you smiling and looking at the female pig? Oh, what terrible stories the female pig is going through now over here. I'll tell you later." And then there were so many times that it's not to condemn the person. The smile comes as a result of understanding karma deeply, because Buddha has the highest level of understanding karma and vipaka. So when he understands what people have been doing, so he is displaying a smile, and that smile is noticeable to other enlightened ones. And those enlightened ones are asking, "Why did you smile?" And then that was the point that Buddha started giving a Dhamma talk about it. You don't try to do it when someone is going through pain and you display a smile and why are you smiling? I think you must have done a bad karma in a past life. That's not for you, right? That's not for you. Don't do that. You try to be compassionate. But this is a Buddha scenario. How does the Buddha go through that moment to make a teaching moment for other people, not to do any bad activities. It's not to put that person down, just to create a moment of teaching moment for other monks or lay people. This is the past story, maybe past sansaric life stories about that particular individual. So same thing happened. So Arahan Moggallana saw a ghost, and then Venerable Lakhana asked why you are smiling, and then he said, I can't tell you the story now. You ask in front of the Buddha, I will tell you. So this is what was the background thing that led to this stanza. But looking at the stanza again, you can see this is about akusala activity. Now, when someone has done an akusala activity, then it will become a papa. Papa means now, what do you call, the challenging, painful nature is on the way to that particular person. Maybe not soon, maybe sometime in the future, maybe in the far future, maybe in the foreseeable future, maybe in the not in the near future, maybe in the far future. So when someone engages in a akusala activity, later it will become a papa. You can see here. Now he papa katang kamma. Katang means now the papa akusala has been done. It has become a papa already. Then Buddha is referring to the process of that akusala activities maturity. Let's see. Sajju kirangva mucchati. Sajju kirangva mucchati. Kirang means fresh milk. Huh? Fresh milk. And Sajju kirangva mucchati. Sajju means immediately, quickly. Mucchati means, what is mucchati? Mucchati has many meanings in Pali. Mucchati means releasing, freeing something. At the same time here, mucchati means the process of fresh milk becoming curd. You know, when fresh milk becomes curd, that is something that people eat in some countries, curd, C-U-R-D. So it is not that easy, I mean, unless you are using machines and modern technology, you may do it faster, the fermentation and all that. But taking from the Buddha's time example, Buddha's way of looking at it, it takes some time for fresh milk to become curd. You can't do it right away. So now Buddha is referring to the maturity of some of the bad karmas, which some people are doing, and then how they are going through the vipaka, result of those bad karmas, into this simile. They are going through the result of bad karma, not very soon. It will take time, just like how fresh milk becomes curd at a certain point. So Sajju means immediately. Now there is a no to immediately part. This na has to come down here. Na Sajju kiranga mucchati. Papang kammang katang na Sajju kiranga mucchati. So it won't become ripen fast, just like how fresh milk takes time to become curd. Now, interestingly, the Buddha is using two, you can say metaphors as well, two things here to reflect this maturity of the bad karma. One is how it becomes processed. On the other hand, how it affects the person. And he picks up fire under ashes to say that how it affects later on. And he uses fresh milk to the process of fresh milk becoming curd to tell that maturity takes time. It might take time for some bad karma to become processed, fully processed. Now let's take a look at that part. Dahang tang bala manveti. Basmachanno pavako. Can we identify the Pali words here? Dahang. Dahang means burning, tormenting. That this dahang is not a fire over here. This is physical, mental, emotional agony, that kind of thing. Bala means unwise. Anveti means unveti. If we break it down, we will find anu eti.
Follows.
Eti means come, anu means follow. Have we ever learned this Pali word somewhere else in our previous Dhammapada stanzas? Anveti. Anyone who can remember our past lessons? Because time to time we want to make the connections to our past lessons so that we remember what we discussed. So otherwise we just do something, we forget the whole stanza and go to a different other stanza. I want to make the connections to the previous ones too.
First Dhammapada.
Tato
nang dukkham anveti chaya.
First stanza in the Dhammapada, long time ago. Very good observation. First stanza in the Dhammapada. When did we do that? Probably almost 1 year ago. Mano pubbangama dhamma mano setta manomaya manasache paduttena bhasativa karotiva tatonang dukkha manveti anueti. Same Pali word. Then the suffering follows, pain follows, just like the wheels of the cart follows the hoof of the ox who are carrying the cart moving forward. So this idea is that anu eti, anveti means follow, chase after. Now what we understand is that someone, okay, what is the Pali word that we can use to someone who is engaging in akusala activities? May I know? When you know someone who is doing akusala activities, what is the word that you can use for that person? And don't tell that to the face of that person, but I mean in your understanding. Bala. If anyone is engaging in killing, stealing, sexual misbehavior, lying, divisive speech, hurting someone with swear words, name calling, then gossiping, idle chatting, what could be the word that Buddha uses for that person? Bala. Because here, Buddha never say a human is doing akusala. Buddha never say a good person is doing akusala. A man is doing akusala. A woman is doing no. Buddha saying Bala is doing the akusala. That means now you know the word. Even when you are doing any akusala activity, you instantly become a Bala. So you can also choose this word whenever you are distracted with the objects. Whenever you are doing kusala activities, you automatically become a sappurisa or pandita, right? So that's why every time when the Buddha talks about someone who is engaging in akusala, Buddha, without any hesitance, he calls the person, when the Bala has done the akusala activity, yes, Bala is the one who is doing akusala activity, right? So anybody who is doing akusala activity has to become a Bala first and then to do that activity. So here, now we understand, now pain, physical, mental, emotional agony, pain follows that unwise person, Bala Anveti. Like how? How is it following the Bala? This is how the Buddha says. Bhasma channo vapavako. Let us identify these words separately. Bhasma channo. Channo means? Channo. Bhasma channo pavako. Pavako means?
Ashes.
Pavako is ashes? No, pavako
Fire.
actually flame. Pavako means flame. Now we have something to think about. Have you seen that there are certain fires where you don't see the flames, but there is smoldering happening, smoldering. Smoke is going on, and you understand beneath the pile of the garbage or whatever, there is fire going on, but we call it smoldering. But there are no flames. There are no flames. That means fire is still there beneath the rubbish or any other thing. So here pavako means, let us put it as flame. And then basma. Basma means? Basma?
Ashes. Ashes.
Ashes.
Ashes. And channo. Channo means channa. C-H.
Covered. Covered.
Channa means covered, hidden, latent. Right? Now we understand the flames. We could say that little fire, it is hidden in the ashes. The flame is hidden inside the ashes, but we cannot notice it from outside. Only when you understand there is a certain smoldering happening, that means fire is happening as flames inside the covered with ashes. Now, what is Buddha trying to tell us here actually? Buddha is trying to tell us that the unwise person has no understanding, that he is trying to create a very naive inference. What is it? The naive inference could be nothing bad happened, so it's fine. This kind of a very morally, what you call illusion, kind of a moral illusion is something that person might have. The person might not understand how it will affect that person in this life and moving forward. So that is a problem. So Buddha is trying to tell that issue in the first two lines. Second, the Buddha is trying to tell us how are the vipakas of that akusala karma going to take him or her down in the sansaric journey. It is just like the flames that are happening under the ashes. In English, we call it smoldering. So now we understand that Buddha uses very interesting two metaphors. I would say it is not even metaphor, could be a simile too. Fresh milk becoming curd. This was used to say the process of karmas becoming process. Actually, we can take kusala karmas too. Some people are really worried about kusala karmas. Why and how? Have you seen some? Were you worried about your own kusala karmas? In this way, I've been going to temples, doing all the things, but still I'm suffering. Has that happened to you anytime in your life? Maybe I'm not doing dana in the proper way. Maybe my prayers are not answered by whoever, the God or whoever. I'm not doing the proper way. Has that thought come to you anytime in the past in your life? Has it come to you? I think it might have come to you, because if everything happens just by doing something, then I think there's nothing surprising over here, right? So that means not even the akusala karmas are getting processed, sometimes taking time. Sometimes even kusala karmas are taking some time to process. Normally, when you are checking some of the websites, when you apply for a certain thing, they say estimated processing time, right? They putting this subject. You're applying something, maybe a visa, maybe something to buy, maybe estimated arrival, estimated time. But the only thing that you can't say about the estimated time is karma, good karma, bad karma. How did the Buddha explain about good karma? How are we getting punya, the results of our good karma? What is the simile Buddha used to say that? I'm asking you to go again to the next stanza, second stanza of the Dhammapada. What was second stanza? Mano pubbangama dhamma. Mano setta manomaya. Then now manasache pasannena. Earlier manasache padutte, corrupted mind. Now here manasache pasannena, peaceful mind. Manasache pasannena. With mind become peaceful in Basativa, I talk. Karotiva, I engage in actions. Basativa, Karotiva. Now let's talk about the good side. Tato nan sukha manveti. Now sukha comes to me. Happiness comes to me. Just like chayava anapayani. Just like the shadow that never leaves me in my life. Can you see your own shadow? It will take a challenging time to look back your shadow. You can't see your own shadow, right? It might be difficult to see your own shadow. The Buddha says kusala karmas will give you the benefits just like your own shadow, but our shadow is not very much noticeable for the most part, right? So that's why when you do a kusala karma, don't be overexcited. Oh, I should get good karma very fast. I do this, that, so I must get the good karma very fast. That will create you overexcitedness. Another hindrance in your Dhammapada. So then Buddha is asking, I would say here, that some of the karmas, bad karma, especially in here, and good karmas, they take time to process. Have you ever noticed that you are going through a good karma? Let's say you've been actually going through a very hard time. Suddenly your life gets changed. You're getting all the good things. Family becomes very united. Everyone is talking to you nicely. Financially, you are okay. And then a lot of things going to be okay. And you are thinking, what have I done? I haven't done anything. How come my life become change all of a sudden? Then you need to understand a result of a certain good karma is now blooming slowly. That's why all these are happening, right? Sometimes we may have to engage in more good karma to open up a certain good karma we did in the past, because that good karma may be hidden somewhere. Say, for instance, there are people who are saying, I'm very passive about my wealth. I don't like to do a job. I don't think I can make anything out of it. So I just wait until my luck comes to me. And then if you look at the suttas, Buddha is saying, you might not find out something very fast, but when you are engaging in something good that you like, that will open up a hidden good karma, and your life can be changed. Maybe 360 change. It can happen. But if you don't do any good karma, even that good karma will not open up, right? So that sometimes when you are doing bad karma, lot of bad karma, some of your past bad karma also open up. It works on the both sides. That's why it's very important to understand that what you call the process of some karmas taking effect time could get changed depending on that particular activity. Actually, the Buddha is saying that there are a couple of reasons why some of the karmas take longer time to process. One thing is that the quality of your good karma or bad karma. Now think about in this case, the bad karma. Some of the bad karmas were done on certain activities, certain persons. Let's say you do a bad karma for a very good person, very, very virtuous, very good person, then the result of the bad karma will be fast track. It will be very fast track. You will see the results are coming very fast because that person was a good person, such a virtuous person who has more sila, who has more saddha, who has more chaga, and who has more panya. These are the criteria we are looking at: saddha, sila, chaga, panya. And this is one reason. Second reason is that maybe you have engaged in the activity with ditti or without ditti. Now think about the bad karma you may have done. Let's say you lied to somebody, and then whether you lied very intentionally, or maybe you lied by thinking it's okay to lie, using a very naive inference with that moral delusion, you say it was okay to lie. I don't mind about it. I think it's okay to lie. So then what happened? On top of that particular lying akusala, you are bringing another akusala to that. What is it? Ditti. The Buddha says if you do any akusala with ditti, that akusala carries a weight, lots of weight. It's going to be too terrible to you in your samsaric life. So then I would say the person matters with regard to the akusala karma. Second, whether the akusala karma is being done with ditti or without ditti. Third thing is the Buddhism filters out certain akusala karmas to be heinous and some akusala karmas to be less severe. And there is a classification with regard to that. What are the akusala karmas that are more despicable, horrible in Buddhist teachings? There are 6 akusala karmas given by the Buddha in the Bahudhatuka Sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya, where Buddha clearly says that there are 6 heinous akusala karmas: killing mother, killing father, killing arahants, wounding the Buddha, creating schism among Sangha members, and following a teacher who does not say how to end dukkha. Very interesting, right? This part is not very known to many people. Bahudhatuka Sutta says following a teacher who does not tell you how to get out of this pain, this dukkha domanassa. But the idea that there are 5 heinous karmas come from Abhidhamma. But in the early suttas, it is only the Bahudhatuka Sutta clearly clarifies that there are 6. Now then you might think about, what about other people? I have a lot of loved ones. So is it okay to kill them? No, never. Never think about it. Right? Sometimes people want to learn Dhamma from a mathematical clarity. But what we need to understand is we have to avoid all akusala. Where did the Buddha say that? Where did the Buddha say you have to avoid not one akusala, all akusala, all, A-double-L, in Pali? Where did he say?
Sabba papassa akarana.
Sabba he didn't say papasakarana. He said sabba papasakarana. To avoid all akusala, all evil. Why? That's what we need to progress. And not even that. What did he say? Did he say only you practice patience, you only practice meditation, you only practice chanting, dana? No, what he said? Kusalasa upasampada. When you avoid all evil, then that creates space for executing the whole level of kusala activities. Right? So that means we need to understand then Vedic karmas and non-Vedic karmas, but overall, no to any akusala karmas. That is our perspective, right? So these are mattering. If you take the good side, the people matter sometime. And then ditti definitely matters. The Buddha says all the time, if you do any dana, do it with wisdom. That means samma ditti. There are people who are doing, okay, everybody does dana, I also go and do dana. This is dana without ditti, right? They just, what do you call it? They follow the flow. That is not creating merits in that way. You think you are creating merits, but that's not creating merits according to suttas. What the Buddha says, you have to create, you have to search, you have to investigate whether I have the right view with regard to my own dana. I might join with a group of people, but I do it personally. Just because 4 or 5 Kalyana Mitras are having their own thought, that does not affect me that way. I have to think about that. Do I have the right view, samadhi, with regard to my own dana? What is samadhi with regard to dana activity? There are 10 perspectives that we have to cultivate, right? I think we discussed that a long time ago. So then, even for the kusala, person matters. Then whether you do it with ditti or without ditti matters. And then Vedic kusalas matter. The Buddha sometimes filters out that certain kusala karmas matter. Say, for instance, dana activity. In a place, Buddha talks about what is a better dana. Yes, dana, we have to involve, we have to engage, giving food to people, and being a part of a volunteer activity, supporting the poor people, Sangha members, and not even that. What did the Buddha say as the best dana? Sabba danan, Dhamma danan jina. If you disseminate Dhamma, if you share your Dhamma knowledge with others, which we are doing now, and later on, I think you are sharing Dhamma with other people, what you learned today, and publishing Dhamma books, sharing Dhamma things, digital forms, whatever, that is the highest dana in Buddhism. Sabba danan, Dhamma danan jina. Where did the Buddha say that? In the Kindada Sutta in the Samyutta Nikaya. He was talking about certain offerings, food, clothing, donating avasa, kuti, and then finally he's saying, what do you call, Dhammadana. Dhammadana is the highest. It doesn't mean that then we have to only do Dhammadana. As time permits, we will do Samhikada, support other people, poor people, people who are hungry. We have to do all those dana, but we have to understand Dhammadana is the highest dana in Buddhism. That's why you are learning. That's why you are disseminating, right? So this way, what we need to understand with regard to kusala karma becoming punya is that persons can matter, whether you are doing it with ditti or without ditti matters, and then Vaiti karmas, Vaiti good karmas, non-Vaiti good karmas also matter. So in this way, we need to understand how does karma works with regard to the vipaka. The maturation is quite difficult to forecast. But if we know the process very well, we can make it fast track in a better way. Okay, so then we are now going into learning something interesting. Now, when you look at some of the stories in Buddhism, you can see that some of the people, they went through vipakas within a very short period of time. Think about Suppa Buddha. I think the person we discussed a few weeks ago, Suppa Buddha, who had leprosy. And then what about Bahya Daruchirya, the man who got shipwrecked and then impersonated that I'm an Arahant, and the mother of one of the life appeared and told him, you are not an Arahant, you go meet the Buddha. And then see what happened. He learned from the Buddha about Matta meditation. I mean, some of you joined my meditation a few weeks ago. Matta meditation. Matta meditation means that when I see, I just see. When I hear, I just hear. When I sense, I just sense. When I think, I only think. I have no more stories. I'm not creating any personal stories to my thinking, my seeing, my any other activity. And then what happened? He became an Arahant in a moment of time. And what happened to him after that? In a moment of time of his enlightenment, one of his papa karma took effect. Right? Have you heard that when some people are trying to meditate, there are a lot of disturbances come to them? Why is it? Then they call it Mara. Mara problems come to them. Actually, what's happening is that it's not the Mara for the most part. What's happening is that, this karma maturity and then the effect of karma work as an entity. So when karmas know that your good karma is sometimes going to take effect, if you have done a lot of bad karma, sometimes they also start trying to take effect. Now, in Bahya Daruchirya's case, Bahya Daruchirya being with a team of people, killed a sex worker, and then she died by cursing, in one life, I'm going to kill all of you in one way. And this curse could not transcend his enlightenment. For his own practice, he was able to enlighten, but her curse, that bad karma, was chasing him. Pahidaruchiriya could not survive being an arahant. He became an arahant, but he could not survive being an arahant. This is one example. Then another example, Arahant Moggallana, today's monk that we are going to talk about. What happened to him? He could travel here and there. He could understand beings who are not in the human world, Deva, then Mara, then hellish beings. But what happened to him? Although he became that powerful in his spiritual life, but finally he had to pay for the remainder, residual part of his bad karma, which he done before he became an arahant in a previous life, killing mother, father. Right? So, and then what about Arahan Angulimala? Arahan Angulimala became an arahant for his previous kusala activities. And then what happened? He could not avoid that, what you call, nature of his papa karmas. He had to compensate in a certain way. So that means we can understand that there are some people who went through the goodness, enlightenment, or something equal, but they had to pay the cost for their papa karma. So I would reiterate that never ever execute any akusala karma, because you will have to pay a cost for that. I mean, that's an unnecessary cost in your sansaric life, because you have to pay for it. I mean, at that point, we understand, we stay away from the akusalas, and we know where we are heading at that point. Okay, I think that's enough for the stanza. Now we are going to look at the story. You can see in this story, there is a ghost. What kind of ghost is this? We have many versions of ghosts. Snake ghost. You can see this ghost is called Ahipeta. Pali word Ahi means snake. Ahipeta means ghost. Now what happened? Let us assume this is Arahan Moggallana and this is Arahan Lakkana. And now they were descending Vulture's Peak, Gijjakuta, a very famous place for a lot of ghost and ghost encounters in the Buddhist texts, especially in Petavattu. And Arahan Moggallana happened to see two ghosts. Actually, I only mentioned here one. One was a crow ghost, someone who had a crow-like body. Other one was this one, snake ghost. And now I want to tell you, you know that what happened. Arahan Lakkan asked, why did you smile? He said, no, I'm not going to tell you now. I will tell you in front of the Buddha. You ask me, I will tell in front of the Buddha. Now at that point, when they went to see the Buddha, then Arahan Moggallana said to the Buddha and Arahan Lakkana, I saw two ghosts. One is a crow ghost, C-R-O-W ghost, and the other one is a snake ghost. Now, what is your understanding? I think you have a lot of stories and then your own versions of hungry ghosts in your culture. But Buddhism looks at petas from a very different, variegated, multiple perspectives. Now Arahan Moggallana explains to the Buddha and Arahan Lakkana, Bhante, the crow ghost which I saw is this, is like this. He had a face, but his body is like a crow. But body is very long, it's pretty long, they say. It could be almost as I mentioned in the see it here, see the correct then 25 leagues. That means 1 league is 3 miles, almost approximately 100 miles, right? According to that snake ghost and the both. At that point, Arahan Moggallana was trying to explain to the Buddha the past story of this crow goose, what may have happened. he was explaining that this crow ghost was a crow during the time of Kassapa Buddha. So when Kassapa Buddha was living at that time, there were groups of people who were offering dana to Sangha members of Buddha Kassapa. And he was explaining that that particular crow was a crow in that life. So looking at a perfect time, he was stealing some dana food from the dana place. So I had 2 mouthful of dana food. And then because I stole the Sangha members' dana things, then what happened? I was reborn in the Avicii hell. And now I became a Peta in the Gichakut. So it's very important to draw the line between what is the Sangika food and what is not the Sangika food, and how do people eat this food. Especially now, the other problem here is that we normally know animals don't have a lot of intentions to engage in activities. Let's say a lion is hunting a deer, but lion doesn't have that samadhi or michaditi. Lion, we could say lion pursues his nature. But in this instant, perhaps the crow was hungry, but he picked up from the wrong place. And then the karma was chasing. That means the first time we hear this kind of a thing, that even animals, being animals, they might be engaging in certain akusala activities, especially when the objects become very virtuous people, especially Arahant Sangha members in that instant. So that's how I saw the crow Peta. Then he was explaining about snake Peta with more information. And I also saw another Peta. His face is like a human, but body is like a snake. Now we understand almost approximately 100 miles long Naga kind of body. And then I saw that fire is going from top to the down and down to top, from left to right, right to left. I saw the Peta is suffering a lot. And then he was explaining what may have happened with regard to this Ahipeta was that in one of his previous lives, he was a farmer. And he was cultivating a paddy field on a certain area, place. And then what happened? People used to go to a temple nearby through his paddy field. So the monastic member who lived in that monastery was a Pacheka Buddha. So of course we understand this was a time not any Samma Sambuddha was present. That's why Pacheka Buddha was present. So then every morning people were bringing dana to that Pacheka Buddha. Lunch also they are bringing dana. Evening they are bringing drinks and flowers and all that. So the farmer was not happy. All these people are stepping on my field. I can't do my cultivation in the long run. I think I must do something. I cannot do something for these people. Maybe when the Pacheka Buddha went for Pindapata, I want to go to the temple. I want to do something. So he went to the temple. He set fire to the whole temple. And then when the Buddha came back, Buddha was looking at his temple. He didn't say anything. Pacheka Buddhas, they are not commenting on any disasters. He just left. And then what happened? Then after he passed away, he was reborn in the Avicii because he set fire to the temple. Now he became a Nagapeta, Ahipeta. His body is burning from top down, down top, and left, right, right, left. So that means at that time, farmer did not understand what I am doing. But later on in the sansaric life, now he understands, what did I do? Right? So what we need to know is that just like a heap looks cool on the outside, say for instance that particular what do you call the flame, that you don't see the flame but you see the smoke. But you see that there are live embers within, and I mean, only when stirred by wind or contact, they're going to be visible, maybe leap out. So in the same way, when some people engage in akusala activities, they never think that this will come after me. And when things are coming after them, they are going to go to a lot of dukkha. So this is the story. And what we need to do at this point is that by understanding this story is that we should never become fooled by delay of any karma. Just because it takes time, we shouldn't be happy about doing any akusala karma. We have to avoid even from the slightest akusala karma. That is to be on the safer side. And at the same time, let us say if we have done bad karma already, akusala karma already, then we have to purify from them. We need to purify from them. We have to accept, we have to do more good karma for that. But if you are not going to do that, if you are still thinking it was okay for me to do that bad thing, to hurt someone, to do bad thing, then more akusala karma will be created. Now let us take a look at some of the points here, and then I will open up for the question and answers. The delayed ripening of karma. Some karmas take time, as I said. It could be bad or good karmas. Now, Ahipeta, we already discussed about him. It is because now he is going to go through lots of issues with regard to what he did for the temple of the Pacceka Buddha. Moggallana's supernormal perception. This is very interesting. When we talk about the psychic powers in Buddhism, a lot of people talk about levitation, skywalking, but Buddha also talks about reading other people's mind. We call it as what you call parachitta vijnana. So Arahant Moggallana had a lot of powers, but finally akusala karmas took him. Even those powers were not any more powerful. Karma is so powerful. So even his Parachitta Vijnana, skywalking, they all became null and void because akusala karmas he had to pay as a remainder for doing those bad things, had to kick in at that point. But anyway, we understand he had this supernormal perception to understand pitas. This is something that I wanted to talk about. Restrain in speech for the right occasion time. Moggallana, Arahant Moggallana, posed on Venerable Lakkana's question and didn't answer. Because Venerable Lakkana asked, why are you smiling? Arahant Moggallana said, I will tell you in front of the Buddha. He did not, but waited until they were in the presence of the Buddha. This is called Kalena Vada, speaking at the right time. What can we learn from this virtue? Are we talking at the right time, or we are just talking everything whenever we want? The Buddha even said, I think we discussed that, to talk Dhamma at the right time and to listen to Dhamma at the right time, discuss the Dhamma at the right time. Right time means the time that has more conditions for that particular activity. I think if we don't talk that much, if we just postpone some of the things for the right time, I think our relationships with anybody, parents, loved ones, society, could have been much better. So this is something we want to learn. That's why Arahant Moggallana said, not the right time. Let's wait. You ask me in front of the Buddha, I will tell you. So I think that is something we have to learn in our personal life. Sometimes we don't have to talk. We just have to wait. And we talk at the right time. Just like how Buddha asks us to talk Dhamma at the right time, discuss Dhamma at the right time in the Mangala Sutta. Karma and specific rebirth result. This is something we want to discuss. Okay, so now when we die one day, what are our options? Do we have a lot of options? Now when you go buy something, you look for options, right? Tell me option. Give me a deal. So when we die, how many options we got for the next life? I'm talking assuming we are not going to be enlightened, in case. How many places are available for us to be reborn? Very, very basic question.
31.
31 places.
Yeah.
Not that many. Huh? We're doing a lot of things now, but we think we have a lot of choices, but only 31 choices. But the problem is, these 31 choices, out of these 31 choices, you could say 4 hells, human space 5, then 6 heavens 11, then 16 Rupavachara Brahma then 27, then 4 Arupavachara Brahma, and it is said that the Akanitta, that is the highest place to be reborn. Even it is said in some of the places, God Sakka, Indra, wanted to be reborn in the Akanitta world, Akanitta realm. Why Akanitta is so special? I think nobody knows that part, right? When you ask someone, a normal devotee, in case you don't get to Nibbana, where you want to be reborn, maybe heaven, right? Heaven. What heaven? Tusita, Tavatinsa. But the Sakka in the Tavatinsa also says, I don't want to be reborn here. I want to be reborn in the Akanitta. Why Akanitta? Theravada Buddhism, I would say early Buddhism, which was later on picked up by Theravadins, they say this Akanitta, when you are reborn in other 30 places, you have an age distribution. Now, let's say someone is reborn here today, and then in 10 days of time, we can refer to the age gap, right? Age gap between the baby and us. But when you are reborn in Akanitta, you will not have an age gap. There is no age gap in the Akanitta, but still there is a certain age number, but there's no age gap. So that means everybody is as young as just like other people. So Sakka knows this thing very well. That's why in order for someone to be reborn for higher secular happiness, they were looking to be reborn in the Akanitta world. But there is a certain thing that we need to understand here. The last, I would say the last 4 is Arupavachara, but this comes in the Rupavachara Brahmavals. The last 5 of the Rupavachara Brahmavals are called pure lands. Pure lands. Normally we understand Mahayana pure land, Sukhavati, or I would say, what is it? Sukhavati. In order to be reborn in Sukhavati, Mahayana way, you have to, what do you do normally? What are you asked to do in the Mahayana way? If you want to be reborn in the pure land, you have to chant Amitofu, Amitofu as many times as you can.
Yes, correct.
Then Buddha Amitofu will take care of you. That's the Mahayana version. But the early Buddhist version is nobody can support you. It's only by you becoming an anagami here and you die, and then you are reborn in one of the 5 pure lands. There are 5. Sudassa, Sudassi, Akanita, those 5. Abhasara. So then only you will be able to stay there and you will become Arahant inside the pure land. That's pretty interesting. So when you are reborn in one of those 5 pure lands, you will become an Arahant at the end of that time. So that's why Akanita is such a desired place. Now going back, in this case, these 2 individuals who became a Kakapeta, crow ghost, who became a snake ghost, Ahipeta, they had not many choices. They had their first choice to be reborn in the hell, normal hell, and then they became a what kind of place that they were reborn after that? They became a Peta. They became a Peta, just like a hungry ghost, right? So now, if we know the Buddhist cosmology, that what are our choice? We have only 31 choices. So if we know we have that little amount of choices, then we have to be very, very careful with regard to our kusala activities, right? So I think that could be a very good reminder. When we know that there are only 31 places, that could be a very good reminder for us to stay on to our practice, especially with regard to what Ahipeta, Kakapeta went through. That's what we learn here. And then, yes, this is the verse hell in Buddhism. You may read that, Avicii hell. The dangers of untamed anger. This is very interesting. In our daily life, we are going through so many events, especially you as a layperson from morning to evening. Most of you are living with other people, then you know how difficult, how challenging is the situation in your household, especially to talk to other people, deal with them, process their emotions. So it is very clear. But what you need to understand is that conflicts can happen anytime, right? Are conflicts inevitable in the household? They can be inevitable. But Buddhism shows us two ways to handle it. One is preventing a possible conflict. Second, managing the conflict resolution. So Buddhism is more towards preventing a possible potential conflict. How to prevent it? Good communication is the most important. Because nowadays we have become addicted to non-verbal communication platforms. What are they? Our gadgets. So the person in this room wants to send another message to the person in the next room. Don't want to go to the room and knock the door and tell something. Then when you are communicating non-verbally for the most part, perhaps more miscommunications can happen. More misunderstandings can happen. It's good for an email, but especially in our own personal circles. That's why it's very important to very important to lower conflicts before they become a conflict. If the conflict is already arisen, then we have to manage not to escalate it, but to de-escalate in the best possible with lots amount of tolerance, patience, forgiveness. And then Buddha is always asking us, how I know that you do well in your life? Move on. Let go, move on. This part is the wonderful part in that philosophy. So here we understand that anger is natural perhaps for the most people, but you should know your own anger. You should monitor your anger. You should understand that being angry for this small thing is not worthy. It's not worthy for me to be angry for this small thing. I think it's my misunderstanding. I misunderstand the reality in my life, reality with regard to communication with other people. So I can lower it. I can prevent the problems. So farmer got into his own anger. That anger killed him for many, many lives now in this story. It's better to watch and tame it. Misdeeds against the virtuous, Pacceka Buddha, brought lots of problems. Immediate worthy retribution and long-term karmic consequences, we discussed that at the beginning. Moral blindness of the unwise, this is what is happening to a Bala. This is interesting. When Venerable Ananda shared this story with Buddha, what the Buddha said, on that exact day when Gautama Buddha attained his enlightenment, first and directly as an enlightened Buddha, he saw the snake spirit. So that means it was not the Venerable Moggallana was not the first person to notice this Ahipeta. Shakyamuni Buddha also noticed him. But Shakyamuni Buddha did not comment on that, saying that it was not good to comment on that. It's also good. No? Sometimes we want to comment on people, right? What if that we postpone commenting on people? Would be very nice, huh? A lot of problems can be solved. Some people, they want to spit out very fast and then more problems arise. You don't have to. Learn from the Buddha. Buddha wanted to comment. He thought, no, I'm not going to comment on this person. This Ahipeta, because Venerable Moggallana will be commenting one day. Let him comment on that. So that means it's taking time to talk and postponing our comments about people, feedback about people. Unnecessary problems can arise otherwise. Right? So we learn from the Buddha through the story. And then the imagery of fire under ash and call for this thing we discussed already. All right, all in all, what we discussed was that crow ghosts, snake ghosts, they were noticed by Venerable Moggallana, and they were going through the pain, excruciating pain, because they have done akusala karmas in their past life. They did not mind, they did not bother in not doing them. They were doing them in that full expanded way. Now they were going through. So the suggestion, what we're going to do at the end by learning these stories, that we need to understand akusala karmas may not give us a foreseeable future at this point if we are doing them, but one day they will give us a very big time, very hard time. So let us stay away from those things as much as possible. This is the idea of the stanza. Okay, now we will ask anyone. If you have any question, you can ask. You can ask questions pertaining to this particular thing. Okay, there's a question here in the chat. But if the temple goers committee were more aware after knowing the farmers' unhappiness, they could have asked for permission and built a road to the temple. As Buddhists, perhaps we should have more awareness, avoid conflicts, and be considerate to others to protect them from committing akusala. But the problem was, farmer didn't want to create that dialogue with the temple people. He was simply angry. That's why when something happens to us, let's say if I'm bothered, if I'm affected by somebody's action, my neighbor problem, my other people problem, I have to think about what could be a better way to handle this issue. Not that I become angry and I do something wrong to the other person. I think farmer was mistaken in that point. So I think if we had talked to them, they would have done something much better. Maybe they would have constructed another road, not going through his paddy field, maybe. If that happened, he would have saved his sansaric life too, right? But unfortunately.
That's two-way thing, Bhante. Yeah.
Yeah. Other questions?
Hello, Bhante. Can Bhante explain again the Pure Land? Where is this Pure Land? The realms? Just now I didn't catch it.
Okay, so in early Buddhism, the Buddhism that we are following, they are talking about 31 realms that someone can, any being, even an animal, even any human, any deva will be reborn. So there are 31 places as such. So out of 31 places, 5 places at the higher level are called as pure lands. So those pure lands are not compatible with the Mahayana Pure Land, we call as Sukhavati, where people chant the Buddha name, Dhyani Buddha, meditation Buddha called Dhyani Buddha, Amitabha. It's quite different from that perspective. In order for someone to be reborn in those 5 Pure Lands, one must have become an Anagami, and then to die as a human, and then to be reborn depending on the Anagami status. Yeah, perhaps I'm going to post the kind of a link about 31 realms later on WhatsApp group.
Thank you, Bhante.
Bhante, but I also understand that from the Tibetan Buddhism, Tibetan Mahayana, to them even Pure Land it's not a place, it is a sort of development, something similar to our belief also, that the person must be evolved, substantially evolved in order to, it's not a place, unlike some teachings, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That is Diamond Buddhism, Vajrayana.
It's not, yeah.
They have their own version. But when we look at early Buddhism, we understand that these are places, realms, but without a lot of information. They are places to be reborn as Brahmas. They are called as Brahmas. So that means one has to transform into a Brahma after the death as an Anagami. Yes.
Bhante, very interestingly, you mentioned there are 6 heinous crimes because most of the time we understand only 5.
Yeah, that come from Abhidhamma.
So
is
the
later.
one that you mentioned, it's not following the right teacher that leads you out of samsara. Is that
Well,
like
I think we all follow the Shakyamuni Buddha, definitely. So we are good. We are on the safer side. I mean, we are good. But then the Shakyamuni Buddha already passed away, so we don't see him eye to eye. So we may have to follow a teacher or maybe teachers. So I think what we need to understand, according to Bahudhatuka Sutta, is that whether we are following a teacher who can teach us overall teaching, it's not 1 day, 2 day teaching, overall teaching, whether he or she is trying to teach us the way out of the dukkha. So, because if we are not doing that, perhaps we are doing akusala at the same time too, because we don't try to understand the dukkha part. Yes. So there are 6.
Does it lead you to hell?
Yes.
Does it lead you to hell, like equivalent to the other 5 heinous
I don't
crimes?
think, no, I don't think that thing will lead to hell, but that will give us a unnecessary, what do you call, misguided time in the samsara, because we don't get to, now say for instance, now you are very lucky to hear that there is a problem called dukkha, and the only way out to dukkha is the Noble Eightfold Path. At least you know that. Doesn't matter I mean, it matters you follow or not, but at least you know that at the moment. Then you need some guidance from a Sangha member or whoever who can push you in the path in your own way, right? So that situation is such a big blessing. So that will help you to minimize the time as the shortest time to get into the next level. But what if someone even doesn't know there is something called dukkha? There's no something called Noble Eightfold Path. I think that person will have a very big time in the samsara. I think that is the pain, not that the person is reborn in the usual hell, like Avicii having done a bad karma, like killing mother, killing father. It's different, a different pain to be unnecessarily roaming around in samsaric life. That is what will happen to someone who is following someone who is not teaching the way out. Other people, they have to go to a normal classic hell. Classic hell, yes.
Okay.
Yes, Lisa.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yes.
Good evening, Bhante. I just have a question on the Akanita heaven. Is this, I read from somewhere that there is a span of time where the world will, I don't know, start again and end, and it's considered one kappa, and there's like 8 kappas, and 7 of it will be destroyed by fire and 1 time by water. And then there is Akanimita, which is the heaven whereby you'll be untouched when the world is destroyed. Is this belief Theravada, early Buddhism, or is this not Theravada? Just to clarify.
You are referring to a sutta called Satta Suryugamana Sutta. Satta Suryugamana Sutta says that when the world is going to be morally corrupted, at that point, the sun in our solar system will have the power of seven suns, and that could have a physical deterioration about the universe. So actually, it is not the Akanita Brahma world that is highlighted in those places. It is an Abhasara Brahma world. It is said that humans come from Abhasara Brahma world. That means when humanity is gone, how does humanity come again into the human space. That is through the support of Abhasara Brahmas. Abhasara Brahmas come into the human space and they become corrupted. No, when anybody comes to human space, they become corrupted with Lobha, Dosa, Moha, and they become normal humans, and then they start the human world again. So it's not Akanitta, it's Abhasara. All right, and then we will take one more question here. Bhante, excuse me for asking question.
Thank you.
How may we deal with giveaway Dhamma books and photocopied Dhamma books without causing akusala? Is it disrespectful to put Dhamma books on chairs or the floor? Well, I mean, this is a very cultural thing. I mean, say for instance, we know that we don't want to put any book on the floor. We have respect for any book. Even a cartoon book, we don't put it on the floor. I mean, unless a child is going to pick it up. Dhamma books, we have respect. So we just put it on a nice place because we learn from it. That's our moral guidance. So I think you better carry on. You rightly, I mean, raise that. So it is better to put them on a table, respectful place. Well, how may we deal with giving? Well, I mean, if you want to give away Dhamma books, it is a kusala karma because other people will read, learn, understand. But if you, at the same time, we have some physical etiquette, some etiquette with regard to handling books, Dhamma books. So we don't want to throw them. We just want to share with somebody, maybe with the temple. We don't want to put them on the floor. Yeah. Yeah. So let's take two more questions because timing. You mentioned Sakka likes to be reborn in the Akanitta, no, Attanitta heaven, Akanitta Brahma world. Does that mean Sakka is still in this sansar? Yes, he's a part of it. Yes, definitely. He's not in the sansaric cycle, he's under Mara. That's why when Mara was trying to fight with the Buddha, Sakka was very terrified. He was very scared. Mara will get the Buddha. He didn't know. Right? So, last question, how to be reborn as a human being who can continue on the Dhammapada, repeated practice of the 10 Kusala activities. We have a Pali name for that, Kusala Kamma Pata. The sutta is Chunda Sutta. I discussed lately with the Vihara, Klang Vihara, Chunda Sutta. At the end of the sutta, it says Dasa Kusala Kamma Pata, repeated practice of the Dasa Kusala Kamma. Okay, last question. Yes, Padma. Any? Yes, can you please unmute?
Sorry, Bhante.
Yes.
It's regard to PETA. So once you fall into the PETA world, there is no way they can come out on their own besides like their relatives sharing merits with them on their part. They cannot come out.
There are terrible petas. There are less terrible petas. Actually, some petas have their own mansions. We call them Vemanika petas. It's very interesting. Petavatu says when those petas travel, they bring their mansion to that place. Now you can't bring your house to another country, right? You have to let go of the house, right? I don't think you will let go, but you have to let go, right? And then you go to another country, you want to go back to the country, right? But petas, these specific petas called Vemanika petas, when they travel, they bring their mobile houses into that place. So that means some petas are more blessed, whereas other petas are not that blessed. I think more petas are not that blessed. So if you ask how can they move on in their life, it is not because what they are doing in their life. One reason that they can exit from Peta life is the good karma that their relatives are doing. That is one thing. Second thing is that their own good karmas they may have done before they did the bad karma. They can take effect at a certain point. Okay.
So meaning that once they, how you say, they go through their karmic consequence, the karmic result, they can come back again to the human world.
Definitely.
Or a better world.
Definitely. Like what is happening to not even Peta, Devadatta. Monk Devadatta, he's in the hell now. But one day he will become Pacheka Buddha. So that's why in this world, nobody is correct or nobody is incorrect. Nobody is evil or nobody is good, right? Everybody is going through what they have done. But what we want is that we don't want to create this. We don't want to extend this issue. We want to go to the shortest time possible, right? But it doesn't also say do bad karma, pay for it, come back, right? We are not encouraging that idea too, right? Okay, so now
Right.
at this point, we are going to share all the good karmas with the departed ones and the Vanaga Mahitika. May all the good karmas that we've been doing today by learning about this particular stanza where Buddha says that some karmas take time to take effect, especially bad karmas, but don't take it for granted. Don't take any karma for granted. Just do the good karma, engage in good karma. And may all these good karmas we've been creating by learning, now understanding, sharing later on, be transferred to all the departed ones who passed away in the name of all of us. May they be well and happy. May they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Idang mi nyati nang hotu, sukita huntu nyatayo. Idang mi nyati nang hotu, sukita huntu nyatayo. Idam mi nyati nang hotu, sukita huntu nyatayo. Deva Naga Mahitika. Receive all these good karmas. May they be well and happy. May they protect and bless all of us for good health, quality of life, prosperity, safety, happiness. These are very important for us to practice Dhamma without a hassle, without a problem. So may Devanaga Mahitika bless our Dhamma journeys and may they attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Ittavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Ittavata cha amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta anumodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Akasatta cha bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu sasanang. Akasatta cha bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu desanang. Akasatta cha bhummatta devanaga mahiddhika punyantang anumoditva chirang rakhantu mang parang chirang rakhantu tvang sadati. Next, we are moving on to continuing our Dhammavish, our Dhammavish. As always, we make to be surrounded with more Kalyanamitas, maintain, deepen, sustain our existing Kalyanamita friendships. At the same time, without being selfish about that plan, may we become Kalyanamitas to as many individuals as we meet in this samsaric life till we attain Nibbana. With this beautiful intention, we're going to make the Dhammavish. Imina punya kammena mami bala samagamu satang samagamu hotu yavanimbana patya. Finally, may all the good karmas we've been making by learning, practicing, realizing, and now later on internalizing, transforming our mental states, our kusala activities, avoiding kusala activities. May all these good karmas be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Blessings. Abhivadana silissa nichang vadha pacha inu chattaru dhamma vadhanti ayuvannu sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti sagga sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati samichatu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. With those blessings, wishing you a pleasant good night till we see you again next Thursday.
Tera sarana Bhante.
Thank you,
Thank
Bhante.
you.
Sadhu,
Night,
sadhu,
everybody.
sadhu.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Bhante.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you,
Good night, Bhante. Good night, everybody. Good night, Bhante.
Good night, my friends. Good
Thank
night.
you, Bhante. Sadhu, Bhante. Good
Thank you
night.
so much, Bhante.
Thank you.
Good night. Good night, Bhante.
Night.
Good night, Bhante.
Thank you.
Take
Good
care,
night,
Bhante.
Bhante. Take care.
Thank you, Bhante.
You.
Good night.
Thank you, Bhante.
Thank you.
Bhante, you're in Philippines, right?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Oh, okay. So you're not coming back to Malaysia so fast, right?
In few more months, maybe. Yes.
Maybe. Okay, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.